welcome to my channel, or actually, welcome to my page. Today is going to be our first session, or our first yoga session, and as trivial as it may sound, it is on breathing. That is because I expect, or I actually prefer if people who are learning yoga from me, they should know some of the basics on which we form the base of yoga. Okay, so as trivial as it may sound, I urge you to bear with me if it sounds a little dry today. Okay. So yoga revolves around a term prana or vital energy. Okay. We obtain this energy from our surroundings in the form of a gaseous, solid, or liquid state. Okay. Since we're talking about breathing, we will be talking about gaseous state. So breathing is a process in which we inspire air from our surrounding and expire the waste such as carbon dioxide from our body. That is obviously you people already know. Welcome. So please rewind in case you're if you start right in the beginning to go right at the beginning. So breathing, yeah. So here's a small task for you guys. Self-evaluation sort of. What I want you to do is relax, sit up straight, and follow my commands. Okay. When I ask you to breathe in, you will take a deep breath in and, and hold it for a while. And when I ask you to exhale, slowly exhale and completely empty your lungs. Okay. So inhale and exhale. Observe your breathing pattern as you're doing so. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay. Here's something you must have observed, or I want you to observe, is that most of us, or at least in my experience, uh, most of the people, most of the people expire by pushing the air down. Okay. My question to you is, if you're breathing in from up, why exactly are you pushing the air downwards? Okay, that's a small, tiny, minor detail which is often overlooked in regular practices of yoga classes. Uh, but what is happening here is that over time, people are getting accustomed to a different type of pattern of breathing. This is because of lifestyle changes or behavioral patterns. Uh, what actually is happening is we are decreasing the efficiency of our major breathing muscle, that is your diaphragm. Okay, and we are relying more on the accessory muscles to breathe. So this time we'll practice this all over again. This time with a small change. Instead of pushing the air down, try to push the air upwards. Okay, so follow along with me. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, this way you are using your diaphragm in a better, a more efficient manner, and improving your breathing. Our exercises now begins from here. Okay. Our first exercise is called as diaphragmatic breathing. Uh, for people who have anxiety issues, PTSD, cardiovascular issues, say BP problems. For those people, it's really hot today. For, for those people, this exercise is really a nice tool to relax yourself. So I'll explain the method first and you can follow through later. Okay. So in this method, you have to first lie down supine on any surface, obviously a comfortable surface. You can use a pillow under your head or under your knees to increase the comfort or to deepen your comfort, relaxation state. Now what you have to do is keep one hand, can you say right hand on your chest, one hand on your upper abdomen. Roll the camera a bit. One hand on your chest, one hand on your upper abdomen. Okay. When you breathe in, inspiration, you have to, the left hand should raise, whereas your right hand should stay where it is, which means that you're not using your upper portion of your body to breathe or your accessory muscles. Okay, breathe in, and as you're breathing out, you contract your abdominal muscles and push in. If I show it this way, it will be better. Breathe in. Okay, and we are back. Sorry about that. Network is always crazy around here. So, uh, as I was saying, as you breathe in, your abdomen goes up, raises up, and as you breathe out, it goes in. Okay, so come follow along. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe out through your mouth. Okay, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Try to keep the left hand as stationary as possible. Okay, so now you follow along and practice this on the ground. Use a pillow under your knee if you want to deepen the relaxation. We'll practice this for 5 minutes because actually it's supposed to be practiced for a minimum of 10 minutes, but we'll just reduce it to 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so I'll keep a count and we'll follow along. Before we start, here's a small advice for people who have asthma. Do not forcefully hi Tani. The thing is that it's just 30 minutes and deep breathing and lung capacity becomes a bit out of scope to explain in this video. I'll make a separate video on that which would uh, explain everything in detail. Yeah. Okay. So as I was saying, people with asthma do I mean well expiring do not forcibly expire because it can aggravate your asthmatic symptoms. Okay, uh, and also try to avoid using your accessory muscles while starting your inspiration. That's it. Yeah, lie down and I will guide you through it. In, breathe out. In, breathe out. In, breathe in, breathe out. Take a break of few seconds because we do not want to induce hyperventilation in some patients and in some people. Okay, just breathe normal breathing for some time. And once again, breathe in, feel the abdomen rise up, breathe out, and feel it go down, breathe in, feel it go up, breathe out, feel it go down, breathe in, breathe out, 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 breathe in, breathe out. Again, take a break and perform normal breathing. Once again, breathe in, breathe out, 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 and relax. Okay, as I was saying, this exercise, which we call as diaphragmatic breathing, is pretty useful for patients or people who have PTSD or anxiety issues or cardiovascular issues, heart problems, and BP. Okay, so perform this for 5 minutes, minimum 5 minutes. Okay, actually, ideally, it's supposed to be around 10 minutes, and you will feel relaxed instantly. I mean, if you're practicing it right now with me, you probably feel the effects already. Okay, so this is to help in say recruiting your diaphragm in a better efficient way. So now we'll perform two more exercises which will say reinforce your abdominal muscles, which also play a key role in your breathing. uh, the first one is called abdominal tuck-in. Okay, you have to assume the same pose as you were before, which we call crook lying. Okay, that is lying down with your knees bent. Okay, and before I begin, here's the thing. If you palpate your hips over here, somewhere around here, you feel a bony prominence. Okay, if you go medially to that, you'll feel a very soft tissue sort of structure. Okay, what you have to do is during the next exercise, you have to constantly palpate this. It is sort of a biofeedback to see that you are performing the exercise in a proper manner. Okay, so what you have to do is lie down again. This position is called as crook lying. Okay, in case I use this term again in the future and it confuses you. So thumbs, abdomen. Can you see? Sorry. Okay, palpate, palpate, and now you have to pull pull your abdomen inwards, downwards. Okay, while normal breathing. Uh, Here, on the contrary to the previous exercise, what is going to happen is you will be breathing mostly through your thorax. Okay, so don't confuse the two exercises. Not just normal breathe and tuck in your stomach. Okay, the muscle that we are training right now is called as transverse abdominalis. You can look it up if you feel the need to. It runs around like this. Okay, so tuck in and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You feel this portion here becoming tight, which means that the muscle is being recruited. It means that it's contracting. Okay, where you're placing your thumb. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Take a few deep breaths. Another thing I forgot to mention in the beginning was we breathe in a ratio of 1:2, where our expiration is 2 times inspiration. Okay, that is what we normally prefer in yoga. But initially during the beginning sessions, it's okay if you cannot follow that ratio completely. Just try to maintain your expiration slightly longer than your inspiration. Over time, you can increase the period according to comfort levels. Okay, don't force yourself. Once again, tuck in and hold. 1, 2, pull with all the force you can. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Normal breathing. We perform this one more time. Okay, relax for a while. And once again, tuck in and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tuck in as much as you can. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Relax. Okay. Our third exercise is more or less an advanced version of this. Okay, It's called as, it's what I call quadruped tuck-in. Okay, as the name suggests, we have to assume a quadruped position. That is, we have to be on our hands and our knees, and the principle is the same. We have to tuck in the stomach and hold. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, another side note, for people for people who are doing core exercises, a lot of crunches, a lot of sit-ups, trying to get that flat belly, but still they feel that their tummy is bulging out. For those people, this exercise is something that will do the trick, because this really hits the TA muscle, and that is what is actually retracting your belly inwards. Okay, your rectus doesn't really pull your belly inwards, so people who are trying to get that flat belly, this is your exercise. Okay, what you have to do is you have to be on your knees and your hands. Okay, and it's the same thing. You have to tuck in your belly and hold while normal breathing. You feel a sort of pressure around these points. Okay, because this is a more advanced version of the previous one. This will uh, feel a little more strenuous than the previous one. Okay, and here we go. Tuck in and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Breathe normally for a few seconds. And once again, tuck in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. We'll do it one more time. Take a few deep breaths, relax. And once again, tuck in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Okay, that's about it, and we're almost come to the end of our 30 minutes. Um try to practice these three exercises every day. Uh, Trust me, it will give you some changes. You'll see the difference within a month at least. Uh, and if anyone has any questions regarding what we did today, you can ask. I know today's day it was a little bit dry, but the thing is that I expect everyone who I teach yoga to know at least this much, because this is the base on what, or the foundation on what we build for the practice. Uh, I have planned the session or the sequence so that we practice normal breathing first. We progress to Surya Namaskar and a little bit of advancement into stretching for asana, that is preparation of asanas. Then we'll progress to asana, and in the end we'll practice a bit of pranayama. Okay. So if anyone has any questions, you can. We have a little time. We have 5 minutes. Feel free to ask if anyone's watching it live. If not, you can always send me a message, and I'll answer it as soon as I can. Okay. I'm guessing there are no questions as such. Uh, okay, I'll see you tomorrow again at the same time, 5 o'clock, where we'll be practicing Surya Namaskar. Again, this 10-day session is the absolute basics of yoga. We are not going into the details. This is just something which will help you, feel more positive about yourself. Thanks. I hope you're practicing at home, Dougie. I mean, parents also. We've been brought up. Actually, I come from a school called Hedgevar. Short shout out for Hedgevar, where we used to have yoga classes in the mornings, almost every day, doing Surya Namaskar and all that. So, Prasanji, who is on this video along with me, he is one of those classmates I used to have. So we are more familiar with yoga when it comes to school days. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Thanks for watching.